The left box, it looks like a little magnifying glass with a plus sign in it. That will show the screen on the left side, which is where the video will be playing. All right. Did you hear me? Okay, Thelma, does that sound good?
Yes, thank you,
Okay.
Steve.
Yeah, we heard you.
All right, thank you.
Folks, my name.
Are we playing the video yet? Okay.
Fine. It keeps stopping.
Is John Clements, and I relay in South Australia, in the great land down under. Welcome to
Uh-oh.
Ashley, I think you actually have to log into Google. In the top right, there's a sign-in button, and it'll permit you to play it once you're signed in.
My name is John Clements.
Is it
and
not
I relay
playing,
in South
Matt?
Australia.
No,
In the
we're not
great
seeing it.
land
I'm just
down
seeing
under.
like a login screen. Are you seeing
Welcome
the
to this
video?
global relay
am.
for
I
life forum.
am
Okay.
seeing the video.
I'm
Okay,
about
so
to
this
survive,
is one
and
thing
I'm
that
still
we
here
did find out
because
from
of the
Cindy
people
is
who
that
came
in
before
some
me
parts
to
of the
help
world,
the cause.
this video will not be
I
played
now try to
due
pay
to
it
privacy
forward
laws.
by
So
being involved
if
in
you
Relay for
cannot
Life.
see the video at this time, it's probably
become a
because you're
real
somewhere
passion
in
of
the
mine.
European Union.
Keep up the great
So
work.
what we're going to do with the two videos that we showed today is when we send out the recording of the video up through the Zoom that LL is currently operating, we will also include links to these videos. So I'm seeing the welcome video, and I'm sure most of the audience is, but some of you might not. And that's the explanation for it.
My name is Felicia Wilson. I
Thanks for
live
that
in the
clarification,
United
Steve.
States.
We will make sure this
in
link
the
goes
state
out.
of Georgia, in the
And
beautiful
thank you so
foothills
much
of
for
the Blue
bearing
Ridge
with all of
Mountains.
the
I've been a
technological
survivor of chronic
hurdles
myeloid
we deal with
leukemia
these days.
for 20
I'll
years,
continue to play it,
and also
and
a
we'll move
caregiver
on.
to my
Thank
husband
you.
since 2005, when he was diagnosed with bladder cancer. I have been a global hero of hope since 2012. Welcome to the Global Heroes of Hope Showcase.
Goeiemôre. Ek is Elise Fourie van Pretoria in Suid-Afrika. Ek is al vir 19 jaar 'n skildklierkanker survivor. Ek verteenwoordig die Kankervereniging van Suid-Afrika en ek is sedert 2020 'n Global Hero of Hope. Ek wil julle almal hartlik verwelkom na die Global Heroes of Hope Showcase. Ek hoop julle geniet elke oomblik daarvan. I would like to extend a hearty welcome to all of you to the Global Heroes of Hope Showcase. I hope you enjoy every moment.
All righty, folks. Now, if you can go back to the screen Zoom and click the center one, which is the main web screen, we will begin our presentation. So I want to share a couple of housekeeping items with you before we get started. Again, we talked about the screen Zoom. If you want to just watch the screen itself, you hit the screen Zoom. If you want to watch what's going on in the auditorium along with the screen, what's going on in the screen, if you click anywhere on your screen except where the presentation is, that will take you back to the conference room. I hope that makes sense. Again, we talked about using arrows to move around the room. You could also use your mouse, whichever way is easy. We found the easiest way, though, is to use the arrows to allow yourself to walk around the room. That's going to be important because later on we're going to be doing breakouts where we're going to be splitting you up in groups at each of the tables. We talked about the video. There will be another video that's played at the end. And again, probably the same restrictions is that you won't be able to see it if you're in certain parts of the world, but we will send those links out. And then lastly, if you need to use the restrooms, you can see the restrooms are at the back of the room. We also have coffee and snacks available too at the back of the room if you need that. So without further ado, without further ado, we will get started by showing you the agenda for today. So Matt, if you could click through. One more. Oh, somebody's using their razor right now, I think. Matt, am I the only one hearing that feedback?
I'm hearing it too.
No, it's
Yeah,
David. David, you have a noise going on there.
Everyone should turn mics off.
Can we mute David?
Yeah, just going to do that now.
Great, thank you. So we're gonna go through some introductions. We have welcomed you. Thank you very much for joining today. I know it's depending on where you were, it might be kind of a late at night, or it might be early in the morning, or it might be in the middle of the day, but we thank everybody for joining today. We have a great program. We're going to talk about the state of Global Relay for Life, and then we're going to get into a very interesting presentation on the current state of global cancer control. We'll talk about the Global Heroes of Hope program at a glance. And then we'll get into what the role is of the Global Relay for Life role versus the partner organization role when it comes to the Global Heroes of Hope. We're going to do a breakout where we're going to really share some of the things that Global Heroes have been doing around the world, and then finish by talking about prospecting and a timeline for selecting the 2022 Global Heroes of Hope, and then finish with any questions and answers that you might have. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Matt Lewis, who's the Strategic Director of Global Relay for Life. Take it away, Matt.
Thanks, Steve. Now, I'm just driving the slides. There we go. That's doing as well. Well, look, welcome. It's so wonderful to be here with you all. Some faces I'm very familiar with. Some people are new to me. So it's great to meet your virtual acquaintance. It would be wonderful, of course, to do this in person, and we really hope that someday soon that will be possible. It's a real wonderful testimony to the power of cancer survivors that we are more than 40, possibly 50 people gathering here today with Global Heroes of Hope and staff joining from all over the world to be part of this. For those who have not met you, as Steve said, I'm the Strategic Director of Global Relay for Life. I found Relay for Life when I landed a job for the first time in Melbourne, Australia, about 15 years ago. I got a job as a Relay for Life coordinator. I've since worked at the Irish Cancer Society on Relay for Life, and I now work at the American Cancer Society on Relay for Life. So it's been a really interesting journey, and I'm really proud to be here with you. As at every level of Relay for Life, staff are just a small part of what we do in Relay. It's really the volunteer team who make this program move. And within the global team, we have over 20 volunteers from all around the world working on this global program, including this amazing Global Heroes of Hope team that not only put on today's opportunity, but have also, they run the entire Global Hero of Hope program from prospecting and finding heroes and training, and we'll dig down into that a little bit later as well. And they've done it since the inception of this program as well. Soon we're going to dive into a little bit more around the recent enhancements that they've made to the program. I'm looking forward to seeing them share that with you as well. On the theme of volunteers, I want to introduce two more volunteers, Michael Jacobson and Laura McCormick, who are our Global Relay for Life lead volunteers. They're both here. They put an enormous amount of work into this global team. They support me greatly to contribute across all facets of the program. So really, it's an opportunity for me to hand over. I know, Michael, you've had a few technical issues with the microphone, so I'm just going to check if you are able to pop up and drive from here. Otherwise, I will keep talking.
Are you guys able to hear me?
Yes, perfectly. Great.
Perfect. Well, Matt, thank you. And thanks for everyone for being here today. It's great to have so many people in the same room and be able to be together. Wanted to go through the, if we could go to the next slide, Matt. There we go. I wanted to be able to just kind of give you a sense of where we are or kind of where we were, obviously knowing 2020 was a very different year than what we expected, obviously, and what we wished we could experience as a global Relay for Life network. But so many relays didn't take place, and you know that. So we're still using the 2019 numbers as kind of our baseline, as what we want to rebuild as we go through 21, but obviously once we get through 2022. Obviously, the core and the heart of Relay for Life is all of you, is our survivors. We're so proud as a program to have what is really a unique network of cancer survivors, not just in your own country, but all around the world. There's nearly 300,000 total survivors engaged in Relay for Life. Of that, 43,000 participate in events with our global relay partners, and then over 250,000 survivors participate in Relay for Life right here in the United States. Kind of talking about the importance of survivor engagement, and Matt touched on it a little bit. Not only are they unbelievable participants, but also really great in terms of leadership, both from our staff perspective as well as our volunteer perspective. And I know I saw a question just pop in of what is a partner? A partner is our partner countries, all of the countries that participate in Relay for Life throughout the world. So wanted to make sure we got that answered as quickly as possible. So that's where, amongst all the countries that participate in Relay for Life and partner with the American Cancer Society on this, that is where we have 43,000 survivors participating. But when you look at how we engage our survivors, most importantly, they're the message of hope. That is why we do what we do in Relay for Life. Obviously, depending on where you are located in the world, there is still a sort of stigma or taboo in terms of being diagnosed with cancer. And our Global Heroes of Hope help engage other survivors in their home country to be able to overcome that stigma. They obviously all offer support for especially newly engaged survivors. And I can attest to this personally. My mother was recently diagnosed with cancer just a couple of years ago, and seeing how many other survivors reached out to her and provided that support, knowing how important that is to her, it's life-changing when you're going through such a difficult time in your life. Also, the guidance of the Relay for Life event and the program strategy. Obviously, when we're planning each event, we want to cater to our survivors, and having our Global Heroes of Hope engage in leadership roles on their actual Relay for Life event provides that great feedback. And then obviously the voice of a survivor. There's no more credible voice, whether we're talking to other volunteers, staff, the media in your country, lawmakers and elected officials in your country. The voice of a survivor cannot be understated. It is so important to have you engaged in every single component of the Relay for Life program. Matt, if we could shift to the next slide. Above and beyond numbers, just wanted to give you a sense of how big Global Relay for Life is throughout the world. And what this slide does is breaks it up between the United States, all of the other countries that partner with us, that's where you see Global Relay for Life partners, and then combine what our worldwide impact is as Global Relay for Life. So I'm going to start on the bottom section just to kind of give you a sense of how big we are across the world. 212 million US dollars raised in 2019 from Global Relay. And that was from 88,000 teams and 1.75 million participants. Almost 2 million people worldwide participating in this. trying to combine efforts, combine funding, so that hopefully we reach a point where nobody has to hear the words, "You have cancer." That is why we do what we do. We know that 2020 was a tough year, that each country experienced a lot of hardships, and that our numbers in 2020, as we get that data in, which we're in the process of doing right now, won't be what we were in 2019. But we're confident that, knowing how important this is, particularly to this group, Global Heroes of Hope, that you will help us all overcome those challenges and get us back to a point where we are raising the money and raising the awareness and being able to collectively fight cancer together. I mentioned all of our partner countries. In 2019, there were 3,500 communities in 30 countries across all continents, including even Antarctica, that brought together that 1.75 million participants. We know that a large amount of the new teams that come to us are generated because of what you all do, Global Heroes of Hope. You help us recruit and attract new participants. And we know how powerful survivors are in getting not just participants, but also fundraising. And if we want to go to the next slide, we can show you the data that proves how powerful survivors are for fundraising. So this looks at just the United States, but it gives you a sense of it's very similar in every other country. This shows you that every time a new team comes to Relay for Life here in the US, they raise about $1,119 US. When a new team has at least one survivor, that number increases to almost $2,000 US. When a returning team, not a new team, but a team comes back in a future year, their number goes up. If they come back after year one, they know they like Relay for Life. They know what to expect, and they are much better at fundraising. And they raise almost $2,900 US when they return. But if they have one survivor, that number goes up by $1,000. It's a huge increase when there's a survivor on that team. The overall team average with one survivor on their team is $3,136. The average team average with no survivors, right around $1,000. So engaging Global Heroes of Hope, particularly on the fundraising side in Relay for Life, and getting more survivors engaged in our movement is going to be critical to us rebuilding the Relay for Life movement and recapturing our fundraising. Before I throw it over to Laura to cover our next subject, I did want to just mention one other thing that we've been talking as a team, and that's focusing not just on fundraising and not just on being a spokesperson to other survivors or other volunteers in your country, but also tapping into that for advocacy. And we know that there's good advocacy campaigns throughout the world in our partner countries. We just got a great example from Ireland just yesterday. But we want to make sure that survivors are properly used to be able to tell our story in government. And we know that that looks a little different depending on where you are located in the world. But when I mentioned earlier that there is no better spokesperson or no better advocate, that goes in government too. And we're going to hear a little later in the program about some ideas that we think could be leveraged or could be used, and we can use survivors to be that spokesperson to make much needed change in government policy related to cancer. And we're hoping that we could tap into the Global Heroes of Hope to help lead that movement and get more survivors engaged in those advocacy campaigns. So expect to hear more of that soon, because we think this is a core group that can really help us advance some of our advocacy agendas. So with that, I'm going to throw it over to Laura McCormick, who's going to talk about probably the most exciting development or what to look forward to in terms of Global Relay for Life that's going to be taking place a little later this year.
Thanks, Michael, and hello to everybody. Like Michael said, I get to talk about the fun stuff. So I'm going to do a little cheer. Woohoo! And if you click on your name on the upper left of your screen, it will give you an option of actions you can do. So if anybody wants to give a little wave, I'd love to see who's actually able. There, Michael did a little cheer over there. I see some people waving, isn't it? Oh, and Matt's jumping around behind me. It's so good to be here today with all of you. And I just want to take a minute to give a big thank you again, as Matt did, to Thelma and Ashley and Cindy and Alil and Steve for putting in so much work, and also their guest speakers today. They work tirelessly to give the opportunities like this to all of you and to all of our partners. And we couldn't be more thankful that they do so on a regular basis. And I have to say, when I talked to Thelma and introduced the idea of this festival that I'm going to talk to you about now, I don't think there was anybody more excited at the news of the opportunity that we could bring to you, and that the survivors and caregivers could have within this festival. So let me tell you a little bit about it. It's going to be in this actual campus of Urbella, so it will be virtual. One of these days we'll be back in person, but right now we're going to do the best we can and enjoy being together virtually. So this fall, November 12th and 13th, for a 24-hour period, we are going to have a Relay for Life experience for everybody in this world to participate in. So we're going to be counting on all of you to help us to spread that word. It's going to have all of the components of a Relay for Life event, from opening ceremonies and opportunities to celebrate, opportunities to remember and reflect with Luminaria, and also fun and music and dancing and activities, and also an expo area where every partner and even some groups can have a booth and just talk about what they do and what the opportunities are for others to join them. It's going to be very interactive. You're going to be able to mingle with other Relay for Life volunteers, survivors, caregivers, staff from all over the globe. Others that participate in Relay for Life just like you do, but maybe on the other side of the world. It's quite fascinating if you think about it. So we're really excited about this opportunity that will be upcoming in the fall. You'll be hearing lots more about it through social media, through your networks, through your partners and your staff. And we're going to ask that you help us spread the word and get engaged and join us in November to have a really wonderful time, and get ready for that in-person event that will happen at some point, hopefully next year.
Perfect. Thank you, Laura. We're pumped and ready for that, and we're putting a lot of work in. Laura's leading that. We're building a team to make it super successful. Great. I'm going to pivot next to introduce a colleague from the American Cancer Society. Minu Anand is the Director of Global Cancer Prevention within the American Cancer Society's Global Cancer Control Team. I want to share that the funds raised by Global Relay for Life go towards funding some of the work that this team does. We're working internally at ACS to find more synergies between our two groups, the Global Relay for Life and the Global Cancer Control Team. So I'm delighted Minu is here today to share with us a little bit more about the work and some potential opportunities with this group. Minu, thank you.
Thanks, Matt. Greetings, everyone, and thanks a lot for giving me this opportunity to engage with you. I engaged briefly with some of you during the November meeting, and quite excited to be here again today with you. Next slide, Matt. As many of you know, that on the eve of last conference, or our November conference, the 2020 conference, the world marked a historic milestone with the WHO launching the global commitment to eliminate cervical cancer in the midst of a global pandemic. Yes, to eliminate a cancer. You know, what a dream come true accomplishment for global cancer control community. We now have the tools to prevent cervical cancer and to cure it through early detection and effective management. Yet, in the next 10 minutes of our discussion today, 5 women will die of cervical cancer in our world, and that is 5 needless lives lost, generally during most productive life years. Next slide, Matt. The global strategy, resting on its 3 pillars of HPV vaccination, cervical screening, and cancer treatment and palliative care, gives us clear targets for what we need to do to get to elimination. Defines elimination as reducing cervical cancer rates to 4 cases per 100,000 women, a threshold that has been defined for any rare cancer. And it emphasizes equitable access and outcome, leaving no one behind. The 2030 targets set by the global strategy for all countries are having 90% of girls receive 2 doses of HPV vaccine before their 15th birthday. Having 70% of women receive cervical screening with the HPV test at least twice in their lifetime between 35 and 45 years. And ensuring that 90% of women identified with a precancerous lesion or an invasive cancer receive timely treatment and/or palliative care. The roadmap outlined in the global strategy can get us to a world where no girl ever grows up to hear the dreaded words, "You have cervical cancer." Next slide. But there are some fundamental social and structural barriers to knock down, and Michael addressed a lot of those as he talked about the role of survivors or the potential role of survivors, as he talked about stigma, which manifests itself in shame, sense of fear, social isolation for self and family, anxiety. There are still structural barriers such as cost of life-saving services, such as HPV vaccination screening, accessibility to these services, availability of these. And these barriers are especially severe in parts of our world where the global burden of death and suffering from cervical cancer is the highest. Southeast Asia, countries in Africa, Latin America. Next slide, please. Global Relay for Life, as I think you have heard and you know it more than I do, is a microcosm of communities facing these burdens with global heroes of hope and other cancer survivors as the strongest catalyst for change. They are faces of hope to those fearing cancer. They are trusted voices to bust myths, misconceptions about cervical cancer, cancer in general, and life-saving preventive services. They are passionate and persuasive agents to demand action from policymakers to increase access and availability. Survivors have and continue to successfully raise awareness, change behaviors, and advocate for policies by sharing their cancer stories through face-to-face interactions in communities, in legislative briefings, via social media, through digital chats, through media interviews, and the list goes on and on. To realize this dream come true opportunity of eliminating a cancer, being cervical cancer in this case, We need change makers across our global communities to literally ignite a domino effect of change, starting with hope, awareness, uptake and demand of preventive services, adherence and demand to treatment, and productive cancer-free life for those who are identified or detected with cancer. And personally, I can't think of a better platform than Global Relay for Life and Global Heroes of Hope. Next slide, please. Thank you for inviting me today. And I hope you have a great rest of the session. And thanks again for all you do across all the global communities. Back to you, Matt.
Thank you so much, Manu. It was very encouraging to hear that there's at least one type of cancer that's being attacked right now, that we are finding hope for people, especially the cervical cancer. So thank you for helping us or for highlighting that for us. That's a great success. So
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for joining us. So I would like to say good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everybody. I love that when I could say that, because that means that we are reaching everyone around the world. So thank you for joining us today. My name is Talma Susan. I'm a 21-year cancer survivor and a volunteer for the American Cancer Society for the past 20 years. And I'm also honored to be a Global Hero of Hope, Class 2012. As you had heard before, having a survivor in a team as part of our Relay Committee generates more teams, more participants, and more money to our events. Having a survivor share their story at meetings, fundraising events, or when inviting other survivors and sponsors brings home the reason why we do this, why we relay, and why we volunteer for our cancer organization. They are making a difference in our community. And as Minu pointed out, survivors are change makers. So I'd like to bring out a little bit more of the background of the Global Heroes of Hope program. So Matt, if you go into the next slide. So a little bit more on the background. So in about 2005, a few group of volunteers, mostly survivors also, and a staff put together our heads and said, what can we do to put together a strategy for our survivors? These are our survivors who are really going out in the field, working hard, supporting the relay events. They're standing out there and supporting their cancer organizations also outside of relay. And we also wanted to find a way to bring the face of cancer to our communities. So we came up with a Heroes of Hope program. And it was adopted by other communities and other relay events around the country. And in 2011, we introduced it to the global world. We introduced the Global Heroes of Hope program. After we empower our heroes to share their story, we found out that not only are they willing to share their story, they're also strong leaders. They're incredible fundraisers. And as Michael pointed out, great speakers to advocate for causes for cancer and for survivors. And overall, increasing the number of survivors attending our events. They're helping grow survivorship in their cancer organizations. So what we're doing now is we're building a global network of survivors and caregivers who inspire and give hope to everyone they touch in their communities. As you know, there are still a number of areas in the world where the stigma of cancer, taboos, and myths still exist. A number of our heroes shared how difficult it was to carry the burden of their cancer journey, feeling alone, fearing that there might be a loss of face they might lose their job or bring shame to their families. One of our survivors saw a Relay for Life video, and he said that it saved his life. He saved him from such a burden, and he ended up starting a relay event in his country. This is the incredible story of one of our global hero of hope from Japan, Mr. Hideaki Mura. He brought relay to his community, shared it with the Japan Cancer Society, and now they're a very active member of the Global Relay for Life. We now have over 200 global heroes of hope representing all 4 regions of the world. So before we explore a little bit more of who these heroes are, what they do, and what value they bring to their cancer organizations, may I take a moment to introduce our Global Heroes of Hope leadership team. This team works behind the scenes to ensure our heroes are connected and engaged throughout the year. They're constantly finding creative ways to communicate and reach out to all our heroes so that they could join meetings like this. And a classic example is this particular meeting in Verbella, where some of our heroes do not have access to computers or have trouble getting into Verbella. And one of our team members actually came up with an idea. It's like, why don't we explore the use of Zoom? And immediately another hero, Ilil, jumped in, and now he's driving the Zoom in here. So there are other heroes out there who are watching us through Zoom. They're not able to come in person or in their avatar, but they are at home watching via Zoom. So it is my honor, my privilege, and I'm so proud to be their friends, to introduce to you this amazing Global Heroes of Hope leadership team. May I start with Steve?
Thank you, Thelma. My name is Steve Bell, and I am a 23-year colorectal cancer survivor and a Global Hero of Hope from 2019. And I live in San Clemente, California. And I've been relaying since 1999. And so I've just been so pleased to have been able to be a part of so many great volunteer efforts, and especially a part of this team. So I appreciate the opportunity to be with you all today. Ashley.
Thank you, Steve. Hi, everyone. My name is Ashley McCauley. I am a 15-year survivor of Burkitt's lymphoma. I currently live in Houston, Texas, with my husband and 2 children that we are blessed to have. And I've been relaying since 2006. And Relay for Life is part of the fabric of my family's life. And it's absolutely a pleasure working with this team and working with all of our global heroes. And next to you, Cindy.
Thank you. Hi, I am Cindy Manash. I'm thrilled to be here with everybody. I was born in South Africa, and I've been living in Belgium for the last 21 years. I am a double cancer survivor, having had breast cancer in 2005 and having had lymphoma just towards the end of last year, and I've just finished my treatment. I became a Global Hero of Hope in Belgium in 2012, representing the Belgian Cancer Foundation, and I have had an amazing 9 years of volunteering on every possible level through that role. So while I'm talking, I'm going to carry on with the next slide and talk to you a little bit about, Matt, thank you, Matt, talk to you about the essential goals to fulfill in our role as a Global Hero of Hope. And as you can see, these involve learning about the organization that you represent, learning about their missions, their strategies, and what their job is, connecting and forging positive relations with the key centers and groups in your respective communities, or in Hero of Hope's respective communities. Aim is to involve new survivors while still maintaining and supporting the existing ones. This survivorship support should be throughout the entire year and naturally would include the relay events. The important message we'd like to convey here is that the relationship between you as an organization and the Global Heroes of Hope is very much a two-way partnership. You would be helping the Global Heroes of Hope to understand what and who they're representing as ambassadors, guiding them as to their possible avenues of promotion and recruitment. And they would be helping to support your existing survivor community, as well as trying to recruit new survivors. An important aspect is that their engagement would ideally not be limited to an event or a particular relay, but rather that the engagement is on a 365-day basis. Slide, please. So what does that 365-day engagement look like? Specific roles that a Hero of Hope can fulfill will vary to a large degree based on the country that they come from in terms of societal and cultural norms and the needs. But here in this graphic, we've tried to encapsulate some key roles and key areas for Global Hero of Hope engagement and how they can be implicated with their role. From the perspective of the CANSA organization, the initial Global Hero of Hope roles, as covered in the previous slide, are to promote the pillars of the particular organization, but they can go way beyond that. Their job as recruiters of various relay participants, their job as spokespersons to tell their story and why they relay, to tell it to the media, to speak at public events, and also obviously at relays, where their involvement on so many levels has the purpose of greater event success, financially and in terms of establishing new events. Throughout their activities, the Global Heroes of Hope act as mentors for new committees and for new Heroes of Hope. These systems are currently functioning very well in several partner countries. We would like to give you the opportunity to hear firsthand about 2 examples of these. For that, I'd like to hand over to Frida Buerta, Global Hero of Hope from South Africa, who will introduce Maria Skolts. Thank you, Frida, and thank you, Maria, for being part of this presentation.
Thank you, Cindy. It is my honor this afternoon to welcome Maria Skolts, Head Sustainability for the Cancer Association of South Africa. Maria attended her first relay as a volunteer in 2008 when Nelspruit hosted their first Relay for Life event, and a year later, she joined the CANSA as a full-time employee. In 2009, she partnered 3 relays while pregnant, and now at the age of 8, her son has already attended his 21st relay event. What an achievement. From 2011, she managed the relay program in South Africa, hosting the CANSA Relay for Life Summit, and annually with representation of 80+ relayers, Global Hero of Hope, present and past, and 20 staff partners. This year, we celebrate CANSA's 90th, our 16th year of relay, and our 10th year being a part of the Global Hero of Hope program. Once a relayer, always a relayer. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Maria Skolts.
Thank you, Frida. I really appreciate. Yes, I think just as we always say, once a hero, always a hero. We believe in South Africa that once you've relayed, that purple blood stays within you. So for us in South Africa, our Relay for Life theme for 2021 and 2022 is one team, one dream, and one CANSA Relay for Life. Relay for Life united us as a country, making us one team, and with that one dream that has always been there for us, and that is a future where the words "you have cancer" will no longer be heard. And when we review the impact that Relay for Life has made over the past 16 years in South Africa, then we know that this is not just a dream, but it is definitely a possibility, thanks to the enormous efforts of our global heroes of hope. Thank you, Matt. Next slide. The words celebrate, remember, and fight back have always been associated with Relay for Life. We celebrate survivorship. We remember those who is lost, and together we fight back against a disease that impacts too many lives. But with the introduction of our Global Hero of Hope program in South Africa, these three words were no longer just words. Suddenly, there was a person with a very special journey that gave a special meaning to each one of these words. It was for them that we started to celebrate, to remember, and to fight back. They were our global heroes of hope. Next slide. Thank you, Matt. As our survivors started sharing their stories, our relayers became more determined to celebrate the lives of cancer survivors and cancer caregivers. Cancer survivors and cancer caregivers are the brave ones who continue to endure, and it is their lives that we celebrate. Next slide. Thank you, Matt. Our Global Hero of Hope journey started in 2011 with Vanessa Stork, who was nominated as our first Global Hero of Hope. Passionate, inspirational, with her own special cancer journey that she shared with the Relay for Life volunteers and staff at the CANSA Relay for Life Summit. Her story impacted every individual, and each one of the 100 attendees at the summit took a story to their community relays. Her story gave hope. Her life was celebrated, and we experienced that more survivors were inspired to start sharing their journeys. Next slide. Thank you, Matt. And in 2012, our group of inspiring global heroes of hope became 4, each from a different background, representative of our rainbow nation and of the fact that cancer affects all. Inspirational stories of mothers who were faced with the cancer threat that continued to endure, and they were willing to share their journey to inspire and to create hope. They were one world, one hope representatives, one story at a time. They made the difference. Thank you, Matt. But just as the Global Hero of Hope program gave us reason to celebrate, also gave a new meaning to remember. We remember the ones we lost, and they will never be forgotten. They are the ones that will be remembered. Kutsa, a mere 19 years old, Vanessa, Dol, Yana, Sadia, a mother of 2 young children, Auntie Anthea Bingle, the mother of Relay for Life in her community, and Shauna Lee. They're gone, but never forgotten. Their story made such an enormous impact, and it gave new reason why in South Africa we as relayers will continue to fight back. Next slide, Mike. Just as we were taught how to celebrate and who to celebrate for, and to remember by the Global Heroes of Hope, it's also them that taught us how to fight back, and fight back got a face. In 2019, when the Global Heroes of Hope program opened up for caregiver nominations, we had a new face to our events. And larger than life, husband of 2012 Global Hero of Hope survivor Rita Naidu and our darling giant Greg Naidu shared his amazing caregiver journey. He gave us reason to continue to fight back. Story touched hearts, and it also emphasized the importance of caregivers. It is his story as a caregiver that united the Cancer Relayers to celebrate the lives of caregivers and unite with every caregiver to fight back for every survivor. It is them that strengthen our advocacy approach. Next slide. Thank you, Matt. As Frida mentioned, this year we are celebrating our 10th year of our Global Hero of Hope program, having started in 2011. And today we are proud of the 48 Global Heroes of Hope who have, through their stories, made a world of difference. It is them that brought us together as one team, and it is them that drives us to never give up on that one dream. It is them that get the nation to unite in the fight against the cancer. Once a hero, always a hero. Each individual with its own incredible story, lifelong journeys. Thank you this afternoon in the room for our Global Heroes of Hope from South Africa that has joined us. Uobi from 2013, and then from our 2019 group, Helen, 2020 group, Frida, Elise, Nadine, and Claudine. It is you that drive the program. And if there's one message that I can give to every country, it is make sure that your Global Hero of Hope program, the center which you plan relay around. Next slide. Thank you, Matt. Thank you to our incredible Global Heroes of Hope, 40 who continue to endure and whose lives we celebrate, and the 8 whom we have lost but to whom our hearts we dedicate and we will never forget. Next slide. Thank you, Matt. Global Heroes of Hope is the reason why we celebrate, why we remember, and why we fight back. They unite us as one team with that one dream. And it is through CANSA Relay for Life that we will make that dream possible. And we believe that our team captains are our Global Heroes of Hope. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Maria. That was wonderful. It sounds like CANSA and all the relayers are the one dream team, and you're doing amazing things there. I would like to now call on Ivan to share the Global Hero of Hope program in Belgium, and he will be introduced by Anne. It's Anne Vervac and Ivan Wouter-Martens. Thank you very much.
So, hi everybody. It's with a great pleasure that I introduce Ivan Wouter-Martens for you all today. I will do it in 3 languages, English, Dutch and French, the languages we often use in our group in Belgium. Ivan wordt dit jaar 58, is gelukkig getrouwd met Inge en heeft 3 kinderen, Jarne, Jorik en Evi. Hij woont nu officieel aan onze prachtige Belgische kust, Kokzijde, maar heeft nog zijn appartement in Brussel, gemakkelijker momenteel voor zijn werk. Cela fait 4 ans maintenant qu'il travaille à la Fondation contre le cancer en tant que coordinateur des relais pour la vie pour la région Bruxelles-Brabant. He is also on charge for the Global Hero of Hope program within the Foundation Against Cancer. So we have meetings with him a few times a year. He likes very much his job at the foundation. Comité's begeleiden en werken met vrijwilligers geeft hem heel veel voldoening. Hun warmte, hun menselijkheid, hun gedrevenheid en vrijwillige inzet zijn voor hem een bron van energie en een dagelijkse reality check. Hij weet waarvoor hij dit allemaal doet. Il tire également beaucoup d'énergie du sport, notamment du triathlon. Il a toujours fait du sport depuis qu'il est tout petit. Il nous raconte qu'il mange, boit, dort et rêve sport. And in August, he will combine sport with volunteering by organizing Velo Against Cancer. As a volunteer and for the benefit of Relay for Life Belgium and the Foundation Against Cancer, gaan ze 1200 kilometer fietsen en 28 levensloopsteden in België met de fiets verbinden. Et les Global Heroes of Hope présents à ce moment-là vont symboliquement l'accompagner à vélo lors du dernier trajet de 25 km. So, Ivan, it's up to you now.
Hello, everybody. Thank you, Anne, for this wonderful introduction. Goedemiddag allemaal, bonjour à tous, guten Tag allen. Yes, Matt, if you can go to the next slide, please. I can't see anything. Yeah, all right. So they asked me today to tell you about the cooperation between the Foundation Against Cancer and the Global Heroes of Hope in Belgium. And here you see a picture of 5 of our global heroes. It was taken last weekend in Waterloo at the Relay for Life of the international community, where 2 global heroes are part of the committee, Marie-Cécile and Cindy, and they were supported by 3 other global heroes. And you see, they make a team. It's very nice to see them there together as global hero program leader in Belgium. So it's very nice to meet them at such moments. Yes, Matt, next slide, please. So first, before I begin, I will present you a little bit Belgium. Belgium is a small country of about 31,000 square kilometers. We have 11,500,000 inhabitants. We speak 3 languages, so if I make some mistake in English, it's my fault language, don't blame me, please. We have 6 governments in this little country. We have, and I want at one number, we have 11 good football players, and we have 1 king. Next slide, please. And this king, it's a kingdom, and each kingdom has its motto, and the motto of Belgium in 3 languages is Eendracht maakt macht, l'union fait la force, Einigkeit macht stark. And if we translate it in English, yes, next slide, please, Matt. We have harmony makes power. It's a beautiful motto, it's a good motto, and it's the same motto that we try to use for a Global Hero of Hope program. We try to create unity. We have 15 Global Heroes of Hope in Belgium. These are 15 different people, but we try to make only one group and to make one team. Next slide, please. And how do we try to create this unity? We give the group a name. The name is the FET 15. See, there is a in it. So if next year we have new Global Heroes of Hope, we can change the name and it can become the FET 16, 17, 18, 20, whatever it will be in the future. And you see, it's nice to add a number so your name can follow the evolution of the group. Give the group also a motto, and the motto of the group and of the Global Heroes in Belgium is Hope Lives Here. They choose their motto by themselves, and they are motivated to bring out this motto. Yes, next slide. We also tried to give them the same clothes. They have a Global Heroes of Hope uniform. It creates identity feeling. It creates recognition. You see, they have all a blue shirt, a blue wind jack, and a blue rain jack. And if they are at some relays, you immediately recognize the Global Heroes of Hope. And if not, you can go to the next slide. At their back, you see their motto, Hope Lives Here. Yes, Matt, please, next slide. Also, we have meetings, minimum 2 times a year. And you see, it can be very nice there. We try to make a brunch where everybody brings something together. But we also speak together at that moment. We chat and we speak. We have an official part and we have a not official part. Yes, next slide, please. At these meetings, we also try to have an introduction meeting for the new global heroes, so that they feel welcome and they can make a connection with the other global heroes. And also we invite them to tell their story. So it's not only a training for them, but it's also to introduce themselves so that the other global heroes know them and they can also help them with their storytelling. So it's a win-win situation for all the global heroes. We also have two WhatsApp groups, a professional where we give of official information. It's when there is a meeting, or if someone is too late for the meeting, or it's really official. And then there is a chat group where they talk about fun. We have done a bicycle race, or we are walking together, or these things are in the chat group. Yes, next slide, please. We also try to do things together, support each other in activities, in projects. When one of the global heroes has a project, go and see them, go to support, and so you create this unity and you create one team. And also try to be there when somebody else needs you. It's important that you are there in good times, but also in bad times, to support each other and to then the other feels, oh, there's someone for me when I need it. So it's very important. And most of the global heroes are part of a committee of a Relay for Life. So try to visit the Relay for Life together. Yes, Matt. Next slide, please. But the most important is always be yourself in the group. Each of the global heroes has his or her own story. Please tell it and share it. It's so important. We hear Maria talking about sharing information and sharing the story. It's really, really important to do it and create your own identity in the group. If you want to share something, if you have a nice thing to do, or if you have done a nice thing, like you see here on the picture, Dirk and Dirk, they are two brothers-in-law, but also two brothers in arms. Last month, they decided to go and visit other patients, cancer patients in the hospital once in the month, and they share it with the other global heroes of hope, and they bring ideas to other global heroes. So it's, if you have an idea, be yourself and bring it out, tell it. And in Belgium, like I told you, we have 3 languages. It's very important. Speak your language and everybody will understand you. Speak the language of the global hero of hope and everybody will understand you. Thank you, Matt. So very important is also the cooperation between the Global Heroes of Hope and the Belgian Foundation Against Cancer. Thank you, Matt. So we have one spoke at the foundation, it's me. And my role is to be the link between the staff, the Relay for Life coordinators, and the committees and the Global Heroes of Hope. So if there are questions from the staff to the Global Heroes of Hope, I centralize them and I tell them, I bring them back to the Global Heroes of Hope. At the same time, there is one spoke at the Global Heroes of Hope group, and her link, it's Cindy Menache, that you hear some minutes ago. Her role is the link between the Global Heroes and the Foundation. She centralizes the questions from the Global Hero of Hope to the foundation. There is a regular contact between Cindy and me to prepare the meetings. What is the frequency of the meetings? Which is a date? Which will be the content of the meeting? Are the questions of the Global Heroes? Are the questions of the foundation to the Global Heroes? Are there new things to tell them, etc., etc.? We discuss together and we prepare these meetings. We discuss also about the needs. Do we need? Does the foundation need a speaker for one event? Do we need ambassadors? Are there present interventions? We can help us at the Global Heroes. We can be there for us. So it's really sharing information and also sharing new information. If there happened something at the foundation, we try to share it as soon as possible with Cindy and with the other Global Heroes of Hope. Next slide, please, Matt. And yes, very, very important, it's a communication. Matt, you can go to the next slide, because we are together one team, the foundation and the Global Heroes of Hope. So it's important that we speak the same language, that we say the same thing. So it needs to be a two-way communication from the foundation to the Global Heroes of Hope, but also from the Global Heroes of Hope to the foundation. We try to make clear agreements according to the expectations, so that what the foundation expects of the Global Heroes is the same that what the Global Heroes expects of the foundation. It's very important that we are on the same level. Like I said, told you already a few minutes ago, we try to share new information. We try to inform the Global Heroes of Hope first about changes, so that if someone speak them or ask something about these changes, that they are aware of them and that they can explain them. Because the unity and consistency of information is very important. We have to speak the same languages. Global Heroes of Hope are the ambassadors of the foundation who have to tell the same story. Thank you, Matt. I can't see anything. I'm going to refresh. Also important is the nomination of the new Global Heroes of Hope. It's not a blind choice. The Spock Foundation, it's me. I do it in consultation with the regional staff and the Relay for Life coordinators in the regions. So the regional staff knows the committee members, the team captains, the best. They can make the best choice. They can say even there is a good person who can be a good Global Hero of Hope, or maybe there is another one. So we see and we try to find really the best people. And because Global Heroes are so important, I repeat it also a few times, but they are so important for us. They are all ambassadors on the field. So it's very important for us to have good ambassadors, to have good Global Heroes of Hope. And a few of them are today with us. And I really want to thank them for doing all these things for us in Belgium. You are really, really wonderful. Thank you. So making the best choice for us is very important. Thank you, Matt. Thank you. And to end, we have a new campaign in Belgium since a few days. And it says, voor elke kankerpatiënt een supporter. For each survivor, there is a supporter. And at the left side, you see the image of our campaign. And at the right side, you see two Global Heroes of Life. And it's for me a fantastic end of this presentation, because, and you can go to the next slide, Matt. Yeah, thank you. I'm not only a supporter, I'm really a fan of our Global Heroes of Hope. I thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you, Ivan. That was really insightful. And also thank you to Maria. It's just so great to see yes, round of applause if anyone can navigate their way to click on their name and hit clap. Yeah, really great to hear from Maria in South Africa and Ivan in Belgium, two programs who are really maximizing their Global Heroes of Hope programs. So thanks for sharing those with us. Okay, I'm going to try and multitask, which is tricky for me. I'm going to advance my own slides and talk, something miraculous. Okay, we would now like to share further insight on how the program is set up. What is the role of Global Relay for Life? And what is the role and responsibility of your cancer organization? As we move to take a look at the Global Relay for Life versus the partner role in the implementation of Global Hero of Hope program, I want to bring us right back to the concept of Relay for Life, what it does for our organizations. Well, Global Relay for Life is a network at the moment of 29 partners who each have the license to implement the activity, which is designed primarily to raise the profile of your organization. It does this by reaching into communities and giving people a tangible way to be part of your mission. From event logistics to team recruitment, from marketing to, of course, survivors and caregiver engagement, as well as the regional and national volunteer roles that are available, depending on the scale of your organization and perhaps the scale of your country as well. We know that volunteers are best placed to bring our organization's messages to their community, more so than the organization itself. But this is best done under the umbrella, under the banner of the charity or the organization that they represent. Further to this, there is no more powerful voice, and I think we've already heard it. I know Michael mentioned it, I think Thelma did as well. There is no more powerful voice on this topic than cancer survivors themselves. So the Global Hero of Hope program is designed to help you identify your survivors who are willing and who have the skill set to act as ambassadors for your mission in their communities. This past year, we spent some time listening to our partners and gathering feedback around Global Heroes of Hope. And with the input we received, we recognized the importance of it being a bit more partner-driven. So I'm going to dive a little now into the roles of Global Relay for Life and your organization. It is the role of Global Relay for Life to provide the foundation and critical elements to making your Global Hero of Hope program successful. How you choose to utilize the resources provided is up to you. And that really probably depends on the demands and the requirements in and the mission of your organization. So we anticipate there being some flexibility and variability there. We know that the global heroes have to reflect the communities that they come from. You're going to see on this slide, the responsibilities on the left are the roles of Global Relay for Life. So we facilitate, we host the nomination process, the selection and notification. We do onboarding, support and resources, skill-based training, networking and facilitating, building relationships, Global Relay for Life level marketing around the program, and evaluation. So our first action is to make available the selection process and guide you to find the right applicants. Of course, it's down to your team to consider how you select the applicants, and I know Ivan was talking a little bit about how they do it in Belgium. And perhaps, perhaps it is easiest if you already have a domestic survivor program or recognition program if you don't already have one. Successful applicants then join the Global Hero of Hope network. They'll be onboarded and trained by our experienced and talented team and by their peers in the Global Heroes of Hope alumni, which we are so proud that there are nearly 200 active heroes within this network. As you'll shortly see, the support for this network is being amplified via a regional structure. Going back to your role is to maximize the opportunities for your talented heroes to drive your organization's mission. We can help them to tell their story and how to deliver global messages. However, your organization should be feeding them with your mission. For this, it's important that you communicate, that your communications colleagues work with your heroes. We would also suggest in combination with your support and prevention teams as well. And so you're going to need to look at implementation, nomination, notification and recognition once they receive that information or that reward. Their onboarding from your domestic point of view. I say we do onboarding, but perhaps you need to look at an onboarding process as well. An overall strategy for how you manage your survivors, because once a global hero, always a global hero. You're going to need to activate and empower, build relationships with them, and perhaps provide in-country training. So that's a quick overview of how it breaks down between what we do globally and what you do locally. Our team is always available for further discussion and questions and to problem solve on a local level. So feel free to reach out to us and move things on. Wonderful. I'm going to hand back to Thelma and team to take us to the next part of the presentation.
Thank you, Matt. Thank you, everybody. We got a little bit of a late start today, so we're going to end a little bit later, but we're on the backside of this great showcase today, and I'm very excited now to introduce, Ashley and I are going to introduce to you our Global Heroes of Hope regional teams. And so, Matt, if you can go ahead, go to the next slide. From Africa, very excited to introduce to you Frida Botha and Catherine Nguraku. And Thelma Susan is their mentor. So they work with those relay events that take place in Africa. So Matt, next slide. And you can see from the map there that in purple are those countries that are currently relaying. And then on the left-hand side there, you can see the names of those countries. And when they have a star next to them, that indicates that they are currently utilizing the Global Heroes of Hope program. Next slide.
Yes, here we have our regional team for the Americas, Rhonda Lewis from Bermuda and Lori Bremner from California in the USA. I am honored to be their mentor. And on the map, you can see we cover countries in North America, Central America, and South America. And we have quite a number of stars over there. And we're excited to be able to continue spreading relay and our Global Heroes program.
And then from the Asia Pacific region, we have a big team there. We're very excited. I am the team mentor here for the Asia Pacific regional team. And they're made up of Alil Matayan of Singapore, Yoko Goshu of Japan, John Clements of Australia, and James Butler of Australia. Next slide. And then that shows where we relay. And then again, there you can see that many of those countries in Asia Pacific are participating in the Global Heroes of Hope program.
This is our regional team from Europe and the Middle East, led by Chris van Bokreek of Belgium and David Chenchola of the UK. And I just have to say, we love these pictures with the beverage and the owl. For some reason, this is just a wonderful pairing. And on our map, of course, you can see we've focused here on our European countries with Relay for Life. Not shown is our partner, UAE, and quite a number, of course, also have Global Heroes of Hope. And at this time, we are excited to facilitate our breakout sessions. And this is a wonderful opportunity for you to get to know other Global Heroes of Hope and ask some questions. So, Steve, this is where the magic is going to happen.
Yes, so I just want to acknowledge also, Ashley, that on our Zoom feed, we actually have 23 participants. So very excited about that. And thank you to all of you who were unable to get on Verbella, but decided to participate on Zoom. And you will actually be able to watch the breakout also while this is occurring through the Zoom feed. So how we're going to do this is we have 5 tables set up, A, B, C, D, and E. You can go to any of those tables that you want. So if you want to go ahead and get up, what we are going to ask though is that we have some staff here. And so the staff that's from Canada, if you could go to table A, that would be great. Staff from South Africa, go to table C. Staff from Uruguay, go to table B. Staff from Ireland, go to table E. And staff from Singapore, go to table D. But we also want to make sure that we have a global hero of hope at every table also. You want to elaborate on that, Ashley?
Yes. So what we're going to do is we want to make sure, now that we have a few of you sorted, if you are not sitting at tables A, B, C, D, or E, if you will please just stand up and move to one of those locations so that you can participate. Essentially, we have these 5 breakouts, and at those 5 breakouts, we have our regional leads from different regions and one designated Global Hero of Hope, specifically who will be sharing their story and their experience with their role as a Global Hero of Hope.
So I can see that table B still needs some participants. So if some of you can make your way over to table B. Table A could also use a few folks.
Don't be shy. These avatars do not have a biting feature. We did not include that in the software. And we want to make sure everyone is included in these breakouts. So again, Steve?
I was just going to say, I see still some folks standing around towards the back of the room. Table G, Nadine and Elise, if you could go to one of the tables A, B, C, D, or E.
We have some space at table E if you're looking for a seat. Feel free to make your way over here to E. I'm walking this way. I'll stand over here and give a little wave. We have James and John over here. Ah, Laura, excellent.
Steve, do you want to give me a nod when I put the bubbles on? Do you want to explain those as well?
Yes, that's a great idea, Matt.
So what's very important is that you all get close to the table. You can either sit down or you can stand around the table. And once we have everybody at one of those 5 tables, A, B, C, D, or E, we will then create what's called a privacy bubble for that table. And so you'll be able to have your conversation in your group without hearing what's going on at the other tables. Those of you that are on the Zoom link will be able to see what's occurring at table D. You'll be seeing through El-Il's avatar. So let's see,
What's about to happen is there will be dotted blue lines that create circles around these tables. You must be standing or sitting inside your blue dotted line circle in order to hear your breakout. So when we make this transition, if you can't hear the people at your table, you may need to sit down or you may need to have your avatar take a few steps in to make sure you're inside that circle. John, circle of influence. Yes, indeed. I see Elise, you have asked a question in the chat box. Elise, where are you? Is she at one of our 5 tables?
Elise looks like she's in the back of the room.
Elise, we'll see if we can guide you to one of the circles. Steve is headed your way. Elil, I can hear you. So I'm not sure if you're in your circle.
You got to sit down.
You can hear me. If you can hear me, you are. Yep. Yeah, I can hear you.
If you can.
Hi, konnichiwa. Gigi saying.
Okay. Yeah, I think it's okay. Okay. Self-introduction. Oh, okay. All right. Okay. I'm Yoko Goshi from Japan. I'm actually becoming a staff partner of the Japan Cancer Society from next month. We'll be overseeing a few Relay for Life committee, and I'm in charge of the Global Heroes of Hope program in Japan too. Okay, so I'm gonna pass it on to Gigi. Gigi, 自己紹介お願いします。
はい。私は肺がん患者21年の堀仁と申します。
He's 21 year survivor of lung cancer, Hitoshi. You can call him Gigi.
Yeah, Gigi. 今年は、オリンピックの聖火ランナーで、トーチキスをしました。
Okay, he carried the Olympic torch as one of the runners. Okay, shall we pass on to other participants? Elio?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you all hear me?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
cool. Hello, everybody, and those on Zoom. My name is Darryl Epimarco. I'm from Singapore. Global Hero of Hope for 2020-2021. I'm a caregiver to my mom, who's a cancer survivor, breast cancer survivor for 11 years.
Maybe she can't hear us. She's out. I think she's outside of the blue circle.
Yes. Yes. Can we send a private message to her?
Yeah. Anne, can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you.
Would you like to give a self-introduction to the group?
Okay. I'm Anne from Belgium, and I had breast cancer in 2000.
Hello.
Active in Relay for Life in Belgium. Before that, I was volunteer in a support group for women who had breast cancer. I did that 5 years too, and I'm Global Hero of Hope since 2019. So that's it.
Cool.
Oh, okay. I think Isabel is in the group. Can you hear us?
So was it?
Christabel, can you hear us?
Yeah, almost it. Gotta get closer to the table.
Okay, Vivi said she had no micro, but I hope she will find it.
Just on the perimeter of the blue circle.
Yeah, Christabel is saying no sound.
Yeah, she just needs to step in a bit more. Yeah.
I can't see the screen properly.
I think so.
I can hear you, but I can't see the screen well. Okay. Right. Yeah. Okay. Don't hear me? My name is Christabel Isaiah, and I'm a 11-year breast cancer survivor, and I was awarded the Global Heroes of Hope in Malaysia. We do have a number of heroes, but very seldom do we get together like this. Heroes, right? And
No, Christabel, are you driving?
no, I'm in my house seated comfortably.
Sorry.
I know. I think the reception is not so good.
Yeah.
ヒーローズ・オブ・ホープとしてなんかこう、どうやってリレー・フォー・ライフに貢献しているかとか、そのあたりを、2、3分でお話しいただければ。
OK。2006年の初めて日本でリレー・フォー・ライフをやった時から、一緒にやってきまして、毎年、各地のリレー・フォー・ライフに顔を出してますが、残念ながら、2年前のコロナから、今もいろんなところに顔を出せなくなりました。
Okay, let me translate. He's been participating in Relay for Life since the very first Relay for Life in Japan that was in year 2006. And ever since he's been participating in many Relay for Life events all around the country. But unfortunately, since 2 years ago, after Corona outbreak, he has not been able to participate in any Relay for Life event.
And 今年は、特にグローバルヒーローズ・オブ・ホープ・ジャパンの、今リーダーとして、日本でいろんな、ヒーローのメッセージを集めて、いろんな各地に配信をしていこうというような計画を立てています。
Okay, from this year, we actually formed a group of Global Heroes of Hope Japan, and he is the leader of the group, and he's collecting all the messages from other heroes and deliver these messages to all the relay committees around the country.
Thank you, Yoko. Thank you, everybody. Thank you.
Yes. Oh, okay. Before COVID, I was active in the Relay for Life of Edegem. It's near Antwerp, and I'm responsible for the survivors. So with my other volunteering work, or my English is not so good, huh? I had a lot of I had a lot of contacts with the hospitals and with survivors because in my other volunteering work, I visited women who had breast cancer, and I visited 500 women, I think. So I had all that contacts, and it was easy for me to go in the committee and be the survivors responsible, and so everything was okay. When I became Global Hero of Hope, I visit a lot of Relay for Life in Belgium. And when COVID in Belgium, because we couldn't organize some Relay for Life, we organized last year the Tour of Hope. Probably you heard about it. And I was also in the organization from Tour of Hope. And the intention was to walk, run, or cycle as many kilometers as possible for the fight against cancer, because we wanted to let the Relay for Lives alive, and also because it's healthy. And so altogether, we wanted to keep Relay for Life alive, and almost the most relays of Belgium have participated. And locally, they also organize different activities, such as walks, bike rides, etc. This event was from the 1st October till 24 October, and the 24 days reflecting the 24 hours of a normal relay. We had also 3 key moments, and we filmed an opening, luminaria, and closing ceremony, which we posted on Facebook during that period. And then we had also the Tour of Hope Bike Pro, and it was Ivan. You heard him a few times ago, and Ivan, he cycled during that period and connected all the relays of Belgium. Each relay gave him at his passage a painted stone representing their relay. And so it was a symbol of the solidarity and connectivity between all the relays of our country. And of course, last but not least, we had also activities and presents for our survivors. So I think it was great to do something during COVID, and now normal life is still start again, and we hope that we can do some things and more now, and we hope that we will have a normal relay for life next year, not this year, but next year, we hope. So voilà.
Yeah. Okay. Well, okay. So I was really prepared. Well, after COVID, it's been really difficult for every one of us to hold Relay for Life, and we actually realized the importance of global heroes of hope in this really difficult time, because I think it's really important to share the idea of Relay for Life and why it's important.
Sorry
And
to
when
interrupt, Yoko. Just to say we have 2 to 3 minutes left.
all right.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Yeah. So in this kind of time, I think it's especially really important to have someone like Global Heroes of Hope to activate Relay for Life and carry the message we want to convey to everyone. So I think Global Hero of Hope is a really wonderful program in order to achieve that.
Yes. Wow. What can I say? uh, okay. Firstly, I just want to give a shout out to Belgium. Good luck for the Euros. uh, Next, great seeing everybody here and all. I don't know. Uh, I guess this pandemic is going to last for a while. So, in terms of relaying, I mean, in Singapore, we were doing virtual relays. That seems to be the only way to go. So, I'm just wondering, for everyone else out there, are you all exploring that, or are there any other workarounds to getting a relay done during this pandemic?
Hello, we have 1 minute to go, just to let you know.
You asked it something to me.
Thank you.
Maria.
Is that Maria? It's
Maria.
Maria. Hello.
At least we
She
could
crashes the party.
Thank you
I'm
very
enjoying
much.
the
Conversation
Thank
we've been
you.
given the
Oh,
Sounds like a
session's over.
cocktail party now.
In the main room.
Hi, Maria. It's so good to see you.
Nice to see you as well.
Thank you.
So it looks like everybody is back now. Matt, can we mute the audience? So hopefully you guys all had some great conversation. I was going in and out of a lot of those tables, and it sounded like there was a lot of great interaction going on. So I'm hoping that was very beneficial to all of you, and to staff that are maybe new to this program. Maybe this gave you a better idea of really how it can benefit your organization. So Ashley, did you have anything to add?
No, I think that I love seeing the conversations happening, and I know with the type of people who are in this room, even virtually, we could spend like all day talking.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, we don't have that much time, but I'm so glad that we're building these connections, and we are going to move right along to the next, as Steve said, sort of the tail end of our presentation here.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, everybody, for your participation, and a quick shout out to all our heroes and staff who are joining us via Zoom. So we appreciate you being there. And we are now going to move on to the topic of prospecting. So as you have taken this Global Hero of Hope, you think about making this a strategy for your survivorship and caregiver program in your country. There are a few things we'd like to share for you. So you might be asking, so what do you need? What are we looking for to nominate as the Global Hero of Hope? So on the next slide, we show not a lot of lists, not a very long list, but they're very specific. So as you could see, what we're looking for is a survivor or caregiver who must be an active volunteer in their cancer organization. And when we say active, not just a relay, but they also do and support their cancer organization in any of their other activities, like their maybe like a support group, or if they have any fundraising that overall outside of the relay event, they might be helping that, or in advocacy. So these are things that we are looking for our candidate for the Global Hero of Hope. And on the next slide. So as ambassadors of their cancer organization, this is some of the role that our Hero of Hope will be taking on. They'll be the voice ambassador of their cancer organization. They will help increase survivorship overall, which is key, and will continue to share their stories to increase not only cancer awareness, but also increase the knowledge, awareness that there's a Relay for Life program in their own community that would give them an opportunity to also join in. And once this Hero of Hope have their own term for 1 year, once they're selected, they have a 1-year role as an active Global Hero of Hope. Once that is finished, we name them as an alumni Global Hero of Hope, because in the Global Heroes of Hope program, we call it once a hero, you'll always be a hero. And so on the next slide, we talk about the expectations. What do we expect from a Global Hero of Hope? So here are a few things that we listed for you to give you an idea. We do expect that the selected Hero of Hope will participate in our program. They'll share their story, either written form or on a video form, and also willing to be representing their cancer organization or their Relay event at a media, be it printed media or television or radio. And we also expect them to respond to all of our Global Heroes of Hope communication and activities like this one. We try to do a quarterly Zoom calls and meetings with our heroes, and that is to really get them connected and aware of what's going on throughout the year. So these are some of our expectations from our heroes. And now I'd like to move on to where, as a cancer organization, if you have the strategy of the Global Hero of Hope program, what is in it for you? So Cindy, I'll turn it over to you.
Thank you, Thelma. So it's an investment. We invest in our Heroes of Hope program as we invest in the Relay for Life program. And we would like to share what the Heroes of Hope could accomplish throughout the year, and that would be of benefit to your organization. As we've covered in other aspects, other slides before, summarizing what you get out of the heroes is their communication and their representation to media. That was, as Matt said, being in touch with the communications department of your organization, giving interviews for radio, television, and newspapers, representing you at the relays, getting more teams, bringing more survivors, supporting the caregiver program, and recruiting more sponsors. Advocating. Now, advocacy takes different forms in many different countries, but some examples would be to get more funding, to work on smoke-free workplaces, to get activities changed in communities, looking for optimal medical insurance cover, the right for the illness to be forgotten in terms of insurance, life insurance, and things like that. Fundraising is a key role that heroes are involved in at all times. They are often involved in creating the support groups, in facilitating them, and in managing the creation of new ones. They take on many leadership roles at conferences and summits, volunteer events with training and servicing of the cancer organization. And as Thelma finished earlier, they are the voice and ambassador of your cancer organization. Each new year, there's new class selected, and after that year, they become the alumni, as we said. And after such a great return on your investment, you must be asking yourselves, so how do we join? So I'm going to hand over to Ashley, who's going to tell you more about that.
Thank you, Cindy. So for our next steps, what we are looking at, we're very excited to be able to welcome a brand new class of Global Heroes of Hope. And this is the process by which we will identify these people. So in July, nominations will open, and that is going back to talking about our partner organizations in your countries, your staff partners who know your relays, who know the committees, who know the volunteers, and know those survivors and caregivers that may be an ideal match for our program. Those nominations come to us, and then in August we begin the selection process, looking at everyone's applications and that kind of thing. And then in September we will announce to our program and to our partners who the heroes are that have been selected. This is not a big public announcement. This is an announcement just to our program and to our partners. Very exciting time. And then in October, we will begin our onboarding, bringing those new global heroes in, having them introduced to our alumni global heroes and beginning their training as well. And so this is a very exciting process. And the truth be told, though, we can't do it without you, without your help, both our partners, the staff, and our global heroes as well. So with that, we have a question for you.
So where is your country? This is our class of 2020 Global Heroes of Hope, and it's also 2021 Global Heroes of Hope, as we did not nominate any new ones in 2021. As you can see, there's Australia, Belgium, Bermuda, Denmark, Japan, Kenya, Malaysia, excuse me, Netherlands, Philippines, Singapore, South Africa, the UK, and the USA are represented. So again, where is your country? We would love you to consider this program. Next slide.
Before we take questions, either in the chat box or if your avatar, we can unmute and take any questions. We want to make sure everyone knows, first of all, thank you so much for your patience as we come up here towards the end of our presentation. We would like to invite everyone's avatar to join us. Once questions are done, we will be moving ourselves, and remember that you can move your avatar by going to that blue box in the upper left-hand corner that says go to. Don't do this yet, we still need you for a few more minutes, but we will end up going to the UV-free beach, the safest kind of beach when it comes to skin cancer is the UV-free kind. We will be having a celebratory fireworks display. Yes, indeed. So at this time, do we have any questions?
You can raise your hand if you want to ask a question. Or just ask.
Or a comment. Yeah.
Yes, everyone laughs at the UV-free beach. It's great. There are some very interesting, if you take a look in the campus, there are some very interesting names out there. I also like the Hope soccer field. That's interesting. And let's see, room 1913. I wonder what that year is. I think that was the year the American Cancer Society was founded.
Yeah.
The original version of it, at least.
So, Steve, if there are no questions, do you want to play the quick video that you have, or we're going straight to the beach?
How about we just, well, I think, Matt, do you have any final thoughts?
Apart from to say thank you to this awesome team on the stage in front of you who have just put together a really wonderful session. I know so much work and thought has gone in. And also thank you everybody for coming along, even those in our Zoom call. Thank you, Alil, for facilitating that. This has really been incredible. But no, it's up to you guys whether you want to have a video or head to the beach. I leave it to you.
Elma, you're our leader. What would you like to do?
Just show a quick video right there. We'll leave the room with that video playing. I think that's really nice. For those who haven't seen it yet, it's a really nice video.
So we're going to go ahead and go to the right screen. See if I can get that video up. Sorry.
And please do bear in mind, if you can't see the video, we will be sending these out through our different communications networks that we have. You'll either hear from us or you may hear from Matt or someone else with the links to the videos. And there was a question I saw about the resources. If specific questions for the Global Heroes of Hope program, definitely reach out to Matt Matt, do you have anything else to say on that?
No, you can just feel free to email me. Most people should have my contact. If you don't, I'll tell you what, I'll put it in the chat now.
Thank you, Matt. Nadine, I'm going to read off your comment from the chat box while Steve gets that loaded. Nadine said, I feel as a global hero of hope that I've not really done anything for CANSA. Who to blame? COVID-19, branches closing, or left with staff without any cancer relay knowledge. And that it's so true. As if dealing with a world with cancer wasn't difficult enough, we have been given this huge barrier, huge challenge of COVID-19, which as a global pandemic has affected all of us. Everybody all over the world has been affected by that. Our cancer patients have been affected by that. Their caregivers have been affected by it. And yes, our organizations have also been deeply affected by it. So I think it's definitely worth acknowledging that that is something that we are all dealing with. And the wonderful thing about having our Global Heroes of Hope, this family, about having Global Relay for Life and our partner organizations, is that we are able to really essentially hold hands and get through it together. And as we come out of it, be able to use our creativity to help each other as we continue in this fight.
All right, if everybody could go to the right screen. And then again, some of you will not be able to see this because of privacy laws in your country.
Rising up to fight another day.
Steve, having a little problem there in the
Challenger stands in the way. Though the road is long.
Are you not able to see the video?
Oh, there you go.
Okay.
Faith will keep us strong. Against the wind, this flame shall never fade. In the relay for life. We'll never forget the ones we've lost for sure. Here's to the brave ones who continue to endure. Your lives we celebrate. Dedicate, 'cause there is no finish line till we find a cure. So we're walking for you, brother, running for you, sister, fighting back with every step we take. Together we belong. Together we belong. Lord soldiers marching on. And we won't slow down until we win this fight. 'Cause it's one dream, one team in the relay for life. In the relay for life. It's the relay for life. In the relay for life.
Hey,
What do you say we head out to the beach?
go.
To move to the beach, go to the blue box in the upper left of your screen. Go to, click the arrow, and look down the list at the bottom for UV Free Beach.
Alfreda. Hi. Hallo Elise.
Pragtig by die strand, hè?
Dit is so wat is middag en vanmiddag nie 'n lekker middag by die see. Absoluut.
Hi, Neil, we should take pictures.
Oh. Wow.
Belgians are escaping by boat. But not very fast.
Ilil, can we find a place where we can take pictures of everybody? I think there's a place here where there are steps right there on was it the left side where there were steps? Somebody's dancing. Hey, Alil.
Hi, Nika.
Hi, Alil. Is there a place we can take pictures of everybody? I guess Alil's not hearing me.
Ik dink ons is klaar nou.
I thought there was a place here. I'm trying to think. There was a place there before where there were steps where you could take a picture, but I don't remember where that is now. Oh no.
Kom julle weer? Draai. Kom ons draai almal om en dans en dan sal ek 'n video klip neem van ons.
I asked Matt. Matt is thinking by the slope of the lighthouse.
Daar en hier daar. Okay. En myself nou net. Nou loop ek alweer. Okay, Leilani, ek sien
Okay, how about we grab a photo, folks? If everybody wants to make their way up onto the slope over here, we can grab a photo.
Okay.
Come join me up here, we'll take a photo of the whole group.
Yes, Max, can you make an announcement?
Yeah.
Where's Max?
He heard you.
Okay, Matt, if
He's
you
over
can make
there
an
by the
announcement,
slope.
we'll all head to the
Where
lighthouse.
Lil is.
Hi.
Can I have a photo taken here on the slope?
Do help if you go where everybody's.
Shall we go up by the slope?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Hi,
we'll go up there.
Elil. Elil, behave yourself. I'm right next to you.
how do you turn
behave
around?
yourself, please? Okay, there we go. Oh,
How do I turn around?
There we go. There, you turned around, please. Sorry, use your side arrows, left and right arrows to turn around.
Je moet niet laten, hè, Chris.
Okay, who's taking the photo?
Matt's taking that picture, but I can look forward towards the stage and see Matt over there in the distance.
Okay, and we look towards left. Chris, you need to turn around.
Yes,
Chris, you're facing the wrong way. You're facing India, yes. And Christabel, you should turn around as well. A little bit more. Turn some more. All the way around. Christabel, turn some more.
Look at the trees.
Christabel, you're facing the wrong way. Got your
Where are we?
left
Where are we facing? Elil?
There's Matt.
Oh, Matt's taking the picture.
Yes. There we go.
Good.
Okay, Matt, let us know.
Wish we could sit down too.
Going for the photo.
Everybody look at Matt.
Come back.
Sorry.
That's okay, you just ran away.
How about there's an action like clap your hands or jump in the air or find something in the actions and I'll take a photo of everyone doing an action.
Let's all wave. We all wave, our arms will be up at the same time.
Okay. Everybody wave.
Somebody's dancing somewhere. Oh. Go, Rhonda. Go, Rhonda.
They made it just for the fireworks, huh?
Hi, Lucy. Yeah, good timing. We'll share the recording anyway.
Okay. Sorry about that. I think
My bad. I should have realised they weren't going to update us on the laptop in time, especially Asia stuff. So yeah, you have Canvas now.
Yeah, I didn't see a Zoom link, so I wasn't even able to see.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I was kind of bombarded with a few requests right at the start of introducing the Zoom, so I probably missed it.
Yeah, so I completely understand. I know it's difficult to, any day like, hey, come to Was it good?
Take the photo.
Yeah. Hey, join me on Asia.
Can we move around now?
Wow, Christabel is way up there. Well, thank you, everybody. Feel free to explore the campus. I'm sorry, Emil? I think so, Matt. I think it's okay.
And Lil, were you able to get a photo of anyone on Zoom by any chance? Okay. Okay. That's wonderful. Thank you, Lil. Thank you so much.
Thank
for
you,
being
Lil.
that bridge to Zoom for
Emil,
us.
Emil, can I ask a favor? Can you take a picture of the four of us? Ashley, Cindy, and Steve, are you still here?
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
still here, but I climbed up and now can't climb down.
What? How did you do that?
Well, there's a thing where one of the options is to climb, and every time I clicked it, I thought I would climb down again, but it climbed me higher up. I'm above the umbrellas.
Cindy, are you possessed?
I'm flying. Actually,
He's been hexed.
I walked on water, and I can fly above the umbrellas. What more do you want than that?
Cindy, do you want to try going to a different room and coming back?
Maybe that's good.
That's so funny.
Let me do that. I'm gonna go to the left.
I've never seen that before.
Okay.
Here you are. Back to normal.
So where are you guys? Where are you? Emil, we're over here.
Come on over here.
I'm coming.
Why don't we all face the lighthouse so the trees are behind us? Where's Matt? Oh, he's in that circle. He can't hear us.
No, he can't. He's talking.
Let me go talk to him.
Okay, so
so Elil needs to
can
be
you take
coming
our
in
picture
front of
here?
us. Yeah, tell me if you turn around.
Okay.
Where are you?
Behind it. Behind you.
Okay. Here we go. I see you.
Is that good? Oops.
Closer to you, or closer to each other. Oh, I want to be cozy.
Steve, can you turn around?
Steve, can you join us? I'm gonna try and move a little to the right and get closer to Thelma. Then there's this place for Steve.
Elil, can I ask, do we want to have everyone turn, so we just have like the trees in the background?
So we turn around.
So we need to face the
Step
water.
back a little bit, like back
Face
over there.
Face the sea. Yeah.
Where am I?
There we go.
Yeah.
Do we have the trees behind us, Ellen?
And I see John
okay.
is right in front of Cindy.
Yeah.
Yeah, John's had enough. I'm going to bed. It's midnight here. See you later.
Good night, John. Thanks for joining
Good night,
us.
John. Good night.
Thank you
Good
very
night.
much. That was absolutely fantastic.
Good. Thank you for being with us
See
and
ya.
your participation.
See ya.
Thank you.
Thanks, buddy.
Oh, that was sweet.
Okay, Selma, you need to step one step forward. Selma, go forward one step. And another one more. And now turn your left-hand cursor so you're facing Elil. Again. Okay, I think we're good, are we?
Looks like it.
Can do.
That's okay.
It's okay. Yes. Okay.
Even if you only get the top half of us and not our bottoms, it's okay. Oh no.
Ah, yeah.
How do I do that? How do I take a picture? Okay, I'm not sure how to. I'm on a computer that's foreign to me. I'm not sure how to do a screenshot.
On the keyboard, is there like a print screen, maybe?
Yeah, is that what that means?
Yes.
Print screen? Okay.
It goes to the owner's computer's file.
Okay.
And Lil, I think your avatar is looking down. Like if you use the space bar and it will. Sorry, that was my dog. It should lock your view.
Ooh.
That's okay. I tell you what, Thelma, can you take a step back? Another one?
If we all turn around, I can do a screenshot of the four of us full frontal. We all do a 180 degree turn. We'll be facing my screen, and I can take a picture of all of the four of us.
But you're the. There we go.
Like this?
Hold on.
Where do you want me?
Hold on. Yeah, hold on. Okay. No. Let me just change my, so I can do my
avatar view.
I'm going to view avatar for me. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, Selma, if you can come a little forward. Turn to your right. Okay. And Steve, if you can go next to Selma. No, forward. Little back, little back. Okay, Selma, I'd love you to join to be closer to Steve. And Ashley, if you can turn a little bit to your right. Okay. And then, yeah, Selma,
Okay.
there's a bit too much space between you and Steve. Can you walk towards him and then turn? And then I'll be able to do a screenshot. Hold on a second.
That work?
Yeah, go back, one step back. Okay. And I will take it right now. I'm going to try and take it without our names. Well, I'll do a few. Okay. I'll save it. 1 second. Got Eliel in the background there. Okay. No, that's fine. It's fine. I will take a couple.
And then LL, you can come step in for me.
1 second. No, I'm not finished yet.
Yeah.
Good, come join us then.
Gonna take another one. 1 second. Okay, there we go. Let me just do this one. Stay where you are.
I just realized.
I'll tell you when to join us in a minute, okay? If you can.
I realized, Cindy, you're wearing bell bottom.
Yes,
Steve,
it's fashionable again, didn't you know?
And Steve's wearing bell bottom too.
Hold on a second, I'm coming. I'm just doing a couple of different ones. Okay, I'm gonna do one with more of the background in now as well. Okay, almost, and then I will. Eliel, you will. Okay, you want to come forward now and join us, but you need to get closer to Ashley. Can you get closer? One step back. Okay. That's okay. You hug her, but wait a second. I'm almost there. Oh, what happened? My avatar turned around. I've got it. Oh, no. I'm coming back. I'm coming back. I'm coming back. Yes, I'm good at moonwalking. Hold on, let me just change set. Right, okay. And now let me do it again.
Hello, everyone. Hello, how are you?
And it's not letting me do it.
Hello, how are you?
Hi, Greg.
Hi. Glad to see you.
Good to see you.
Yeah. Nice to use this ATS virtual campus.
Hi, Lori.
Okay, almost there.
Great job, everybody. I've got to run. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Lori.
Thank you, Lori.
Lori.
Thank you,
Bye.
Lori.
And then I'm going to do one more with the background. I didn't do it with the background, okay. One is...
Hello, people. Hello. Haha, it's nice to use this one. Glad to see you, people.
Okay.
Hi, Greg. Thank
Good to
you.
see you,
Hi.
Greg.
Eliel, I'm going to ask you one favor. If you can move out so I can get one with the four of us with the background, if you don't mind. Thank you. Thank you. Move forward. No, you're still in. Still in. Okay, right. Oh, Greg. Okay.
Hi, Ma'am Thelma. I'm in front of you, Ma'am Thelma. Hello.
Hi, how are you?
I'm in front of you. I
I see
enjoy
you.
using now. I don't know how to use this.
I could see you and hear you.
going. I'm moving back. I'm moving back.
Okay.
Back. Okay, pass the screenshot.
Eliel, thank you so much for doing the video.
Thank you. Yes, you were amazing.
Yes, thank you so much.
Ah.
Wow.
Okay.
Well, I think, Eliel, I think some of the staff would also want the link to the videos, I mean, to the Zoom presentation. So we're going to share